Today I'm going to be making a homemade action wobble for Team Tiny's interactive card hop. Hey crafty people, it's Tasha. Welcome to my channel. If you like this video and you want to see more from me, please hit that subscribe button below and the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my uploads. I'm going to share some of the supplies that I'm going to be using in this video, and I also wanted to give a shout out to the amazing Trinity stamps. So on their Facebook group they choose somebody to win Happy Mail every month, and yeah, I won December's, so I got that adorable beautiful card, the Season's Tweetings stamp set and die, and then I got this little package of a selection of their amazing embellishments, and I mean they kill it with embellishments. No one else does it better. So there's the penguins and snowflakes. Then these are like these really beautiful holographic stars. They're gorgeous. Then here, these are little love envelopes and hearts. A selection multicoloured sequins, no, confetti, like sequins with no holes, and then these ones that are like clear reflective ones. So yeah, that was just a really nice surprise to get from them, and all because I go on their Facebook group and share my mix using Trinity. So if you're not already on their fan group on Facebook, then I would highly suggest that you head over there and start sharing your makes. I'll have a link in the description below. So yeah, I'm going to use the Season Tweetings stamp set and die with those embellishments and a few of my older Trinity stamps things that I purchased myself in the past. So started by stamping out the images that I wanted. I struggle with a black ink that I like for alcohol marker colouring, and I'm using the Altenew permanent black, but it's quite dry so it's not a very bold line. So what I do is I've stamped them out but left all of those stamps in my Misty so that I can colour it in and then stamp over it with the Obsidian pigment ink, which is a much nicer, darker black. And then I'm going to start ink blending while my ink dries before I colour in my images. So the ink blending, I want to have the card has got a hole in the front, so I want the inside of the card to look the same as the outside. So I've ink blended 2 different panels just so that I thought that was easier than trying to ink blend over the inside of the card. Plus the card base had a few like little marks on it from going through the die machine because well, I think I just need new cutting plates, but I haven't got any at the moment. So I'm using some inks from Altenew, and one of their mini ink blending tools. I have got the Trinity ink blending brushes, and I wanted to use them, but I don't actually have one in green. I've kind of got like a mixture of different types of ink blending tools, and I sort of buy like 1 or 2 at a time, but yeah, I haven't got one with green for green yet, so I used this instead. And then I'm going to be just adding some clouds to my sky. I don't want the background to be, it's just a background, so it doesn't have to be perfect at all. So both of the stencils that I'm using are from Heffy Doodle. I completely got inspiration from Cassie Trask for my colouring here. She's one of the design team for Trinity, and I just really love the way that she colours. I just think that it's like, I don't know, I just think it always looks so laid back and freeing. So I wanted to give it a go, and you know what, it really, really is. Normally I would be stressing, trying a million times to get everything perfect and trying to figure out where to put the shading on these little chicks' heads, but I just went with what Cassie does. She just adds shading in, almost like without thinking about it too much, and yeah, I love it. I'm really happy with how they came out. So I coloured the chick in the front to be slightly lighter than the other two, just because they are behind, and just to give it more of a variation of colour as well, so it doesn't get boring. So as I said before, this is a Team Tiny hop. So if you've not been on a Team Tiny hop before, we are a group of crafters who all get together once a month to make videos under a certain theme, and this month it's interactive, and basically we are all creators with less than 1,000 subscribers, so you can hop through all of us and not get a single advert, which is awesome. And also, rather than a conventional hop where I would have someone else tagged in the comment in the description box for you to hop along to, we don't do it like that. We have hashtags, so everybody who's posting a video for this hop has done so with the hashtag, and that means that then when you click that hashtag or you search for it, it will take you to a landing page with all of the videos for everybody that's participating. And then I got my dies out and I put them all in place, and I ran it through my die machine, and then I remembered that I hadn't stamped over them with the Obsidian like I was intending. But I just stuck some memo tape to the back so that I could put the pieces back in the place that they'd been cut from. And yeah, it worked perfectly. I was really, really relieved. I'm glad that I dared to try it. I was a little bit worried that I was going to just completely wreck the images that I'd coloured, but yeah, it worked out. It worked out. So I put one of the background pieces onto the card so that I knew that the die would be in the exact right place, and then I stuck that to the front of the card, and I stuck the other panel to the inside. So now I've got my sky and grass on the inside and the outside. So here is where I'm going to show you how to make a homemade action wobble. I saw this in a video myself, so I'll have that linked below, and I was sent the video by a friend who has just recently done her Altenew AECP workshop, and we were using action wobbles, so she sent me the video of how to make them. So you cut down 2 strips of paper, whatever size you think it needs to be, for depends on the image that you've got. You add a little glue to the end of one of the pieces and place the other piece on it, so that you've got the very edges, the very ends of the 2 pieces lined up, and you've made like an L shape. And then you just start sort of folding it back over itself each time. You want to take your time when you're doing it to make sure that you get it lined up properly. But yeah, so each time I'm folded over, I'm then folding the other piece back over it, so it's always being folded over where the last fold was, if that makes sense. I hope. Hopefully you can see what I mean from the video. So you do this however many times you think that you need to, and then when you've got it about the size that you think you need, you just open up the last fold so that you can add a little bit of glue under there, and then fold it back down again. So basically the only place that you're going to have any adhesive is where you joined the two pieces at the start and where you join the two pieces again at the end. And then you just snip off any excess. I really need some anti-slip stuff for underneath my mat. It's horrendous. I've got an anti-slip thing, but I swear to goodness it's made it worse. And my mat just keeps sliding on my desk. So there you go, you have a homemade action wobble. So you're not going to get quite so much movement as you would with the like the plastic and wire ones, but it's really, yeah, it really works well. So I glued the action wobble onto the back of the chicks, and then I'm going to close the card so that I know I've got them in the right place, and I'm going to have them so that they are stuck to the inside of the card, but you can see them from the outside. When you open it, you're still going to have the little chicks there. I just thought that was quite a fun little design element to have. So I just coloured a few random little flowers and a ladybird and a bee from the Bunny Burrows stamp set, and I cut those as well, just to give me a little bit of interest in the background. So I stuck some of those on the outside and then some on the inside. Couldn't quite decide where to put the bee, so I went back and forth a few times, and then I landed on where I wanted him to be, but he didn't stay there. So I grabbed out some of the embellishments, the little envelopes with the love hearts on. I just think they're so cute, and I gave the two little chicks that are awake one of those each, and then I added a couple of the clay hearts as well. Just popped some of them on the front. I stamped out the high tweetheart sentiment, because I just think that that's so cute. Stamped it out, trimmed it down, and then I cut the end into like a flag banner. Yeah, that is where the card is finished in the video. But I went back in, as you can see from the photos, I went back in and changed it because I realised that my little chicks on their branch were just floating in midair. The branch was not attached to anything, and it looked really quite weird. So I after I finished filming, I left the card, came back to it the following day, and realised that it was weird. So I just quickly drew out a really, really rough, simple tree trunk. I thought, even the worst tree that I drew had got to look more realistic than a floating branch. So, yeah. If you have liked this video, then I would love it if you could give it a thumbs up, maybe leave me a comment, and if you aren't already subscribed, I do hope that you will consider subscribing. So everybody have a safe, happy, wonderful week. Stay crafty. Bye!